Welcome back, everybody. Episode 3, the Commas Podcast, and Happy New Year is up, bro. Hey, well, let me ask you this: how'd you spend New Year's? Do you like do anything? You spend it with family? Go out? Like,
Well, it's crazy that you mentioned it because me and a couple of my friends, we were supposed to go. we was we were supposed to go out of town, a little 1 day trip type thing, but it fell through. I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus or like try to cap for y'all. I was the primary reason why we didn't go. Look, we made the plan right before I went to Vegas, and like when I got back from Vegas would have been when we would have had to like pay for the Airbnb, pay for the trip, and I had no enthusiasm or no will to go back out. But that's why that fell through.
no,
But
I was gonna say that I feel like Vegas is hard to beat. Like, you go out to Vegas, you know what I'm saying, and then you like, all right, we gonna go. It could have gone either way, but y'all are still bogus for not coming through.
but yeah, you're right, bogus.
I can
But
already tell, like y'all, it just wasn't like finna happen, but it is
it
what
was
it is.
quiet. It was real
It
quiet.
was very quiet. Look, let me tell y'all. Hold on, let me tell y'all real quick. I came up with this idea. I was hanging out with my boys. I was like, "Yo, we should do 24 hours in another city for New Year's. Like that would be lit. We fly in, we turn up, we fly out. Boom.
Would be
Everybody's like,
lit.
"Yo, that's a great idea. Like, da da da. Heck yeah, we should do it. All right, bet." Then, bro, I said this like 2 months before New Year's,
It
like
was
2 months.
it was literally October 31st on Halloween.
And then coming, and then as we got closer, it was like, all right, y'all, we all want to go silence. All right, y'all, these what the Airbnbs looking like, silence. Hey, everybody, these the prices for the flights, silence. I was like, yo,
Hey y'all, just let me know where y'all trying to go. I'll go ahead and book the Airbnb.
bro,
Silence.
I literally said that. Hey, let me know. Just let me know. I'll book it. I'll book it now. What's up?
So look,
Nothing.
I'll let y'all in. It was on our other friend really, because I didn't want to go, and so I wasn't gonna say nothing. Had he said anything, then I'd have been stuck forced to go. But he didn't say nothing, so hey, I got out
That
on
that
that one.
man just
So
be ghosting, bro. We don't see him for like months at a time, and he be out. So it's just like, all right, well, at that point, I was already working on my backup plan. So it's like,
hey,
hey, it is what it is.
but as far as what I did, I just watched the Georgia Ohio State game, and it was cool. That game was good
Crazy
for
game.
one.
Yeah.
And then I hate University of Georgia, so I was on my timeline talking trash.
Mhm.
Had to recant my statements by the end of the night. It was funny. It was funny. A guy that I followed that's a big Georgia fan. He was like, what was that she was saying? I was like, can't remember. That was last year. Because like it had literally just turned 12 as the guy missed the field goal. But
Missed the field goal, bro. I saw that. I was like, that's unfortunate. That's so unfortunate.
that's what I did. What'd you do?
I was out in Dallas. Spent New Year's
24
with
hour
friends.
trip.
Yeah, I had my 24-hour trip. You know what I'm saying? I went through with it, but yeah, I was out in Dallas. Met up with some friends. It was a good time. So yeah, Dallas is
Do you
cool. It's all right.
do you usually do something for New Year's Eve?
So growing up, I usually spent New Year's with like family, or like we would go to church or something. That was usually what we did. It's like the last couple of years that I started like going out or doing whatever, like just having fun on New Year's. But it's been cool.
The only time I went out 2019, so right before the pandemic, and that was a blast. But since then, I haven't gone. And then, like as I was watching the game on New Year's Eve, I was like, not sure if I would like want to club hop, or I guess it kind of depends on like in the moment, but wasn't sure if I would want to club hop. But like if I went out somewhere, was drinking and watching the game, I was like, I feel like that would be the most enjoyable New Year's Eve.
Hmm.
But we'll see. Maybe we'll
Oh
make.
yeah, that would have been lit. Especially, I mean, we live in Georgia, so watching the game out here definitely would have been lit.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I was like, dang, this would have been a good time to actually stay.
It's crazy too because the game was in Georgia. It was at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yep.
Oh, but getting into it, did you hear about Tory and Meg? How Tory was convicted of all crimes. Now I'm not personally sure what all the crimes were, but I know it was a big thing on Twitter. A lot of "I told you so's" coming out. A lot of y'all don't know the whole story, just the system's corrupt.
Yeah, I'm
But
dead.
what you think about it? Did you keep up with it at all?
Nah, I didn't. But that joke was hilarious. So what I think is hilarious is, like I said, I wasn't really following it, but I saw the first, like after the first day of trials or whatever, they had a video of Tory Lanez and he was walking out and he was like cheesing hard, like you. So I was like, oh shoot, maybe it's gonna go his way. Like maybe he, you know what I'm saying, he knows something that the rest of us don't. You know, it is what it is. But then to find out that he got convicted, I was like, what were you doing? Like, was your lawyers like not telling you the truth? Like, were you not paying attention in court? Was it just not going your way? Like, I don't understand how he got got mixed up with that. Like, thought he was doing so good that he could just be cheating like that.
Bro, I always think about that Drewski video. Got some good news and some bad news. The good news is we got your payment. The bad news is they're giving you life.
I'm dead.
But
Bro, what I heard though was like Meg's friend, what's her name?
Kelsey.
Kelsey. Yeah, they said she committed perjury on the stand because like after the whole incident happened, she was basically saying that she saw Tori like fighting with her or whatever, but then on the stand she was like she don't remember what happened. And so people was really talking about, okay, well, how much did he pay her to say that? Like, what's going on? Why is the story switching up? All of that, and I feel like that's pretty wild. So I've watched. There's a documentary. I don't know if it's still up there, but it was a documentary. It was a series on Netflix where they interviewed people that had committed crimes. And one of the crimes that they covered was like a major drug dealer and all of this stuff. And they talked about how he basically bribed everybody on the jury, bribed all the witnesses,
Nah, that's
and he got
hilarious.
away with it. I was like, yo, that's crazy because I didn't expect that was something that could happen.
Nah, because you're not really like he must have been super influential because you're not really I feel like you're not really supposed to know. But you have to know who the jurors are. You can see them in court.
Yeah,
Uh
but see, that was the thing. That was the crazy thing with this because okay, this was like a really big. I wish I could remember who it was, but was a big drug deal, like a well-known drug deal at the time. So everybody knew about the case. So the
oh,
judge was like, "All right, since this is so popular, there's no way that y'all won't know what's going on or who this person is. So y'all all have to stay in this hotel
sequestered.
room." Yeah, they were all sequestered, so they couldn't go nowhere. They couldn't watch the news, couldn't talk to the media, nothing, and he still got. I think ultimately he got to like one person, and that person, because the jury and stuff they have to
They meet
agree.
together,
So
yeah.
if they don't, he was just like, "Hey, I'm not going nowhere until we." And that person got paid out, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy right there. To dang, and he got off because it's a jury of your peers. Out, dang. So you get off because you was
Yeah.
able to get to this one person, pay this person off, and like, all right, I'm finna walk free now. So he can walk out the courtroom smiling on day one because he know it's up.
Right.
I don't know what. Maybe Tori's check didn't cash. Like maybe it bounced or something.
Maybe a bounce. It was like it ain't work, bro. But I
I
saw I saw the video of his dad like after the decision or whatever. And his dad was so upset and he was calling what I don't understand was that he was calling out Rock Nation, he was calling out Jay-Z, calling out all these people saying that because Tory didn't sign with them, they are like plotting against him. I was like, bro, where's the connection? It's not like Meg is signed to Rock Nation and like what's the connection? And it's just that video was hilarious to me because he was going off. I feel for him because it's like a pain of like, dang, my son's going away, but he wasn't saying nothing that made sense to me.
I wonder if his dad asked him like, "Son, did you do it?" And I wonder if Tori told him the truth, like, "Nah, I ain't do it," or "Yeah, I did it, but I'm gonna need you to get out here and pull out like a Grammy performance or something."
I'm
I
dead.
just I wonder I wonder if we know the truth or if there's more to it or if like that's all I wonder. Because I didn't keep up with the case. Even afterwards, it could have just been biased, but people, you had people talking about, nah, this wasn't fair or whatever the case was of why they did find Tory guilty and why they shouldn't have. So I just wonder if the whole story in its detail will ever come out to where we know, oh nah, he like just straight up shot her, or oh, this was an accident. I mean, still shot her, but oh, this was an accident.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll ever get that side of it.
Yeah. I don't know, but I can't imagine that he like if they found him guilty, I can't imagine that he told his dad, I did it. I feel like he was out there capping like, oh nah, I don't know why they saying this about me. Da, 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 da. But that joint's crazy. Somebody was saying he might get deported.
That's what I thought would happen, that he would get deported.
Which is crazy.
Because he's not a U.S.
citizen. Canada.
Which might end up being favorable. I don't know how, like, I wonder if, because I mean, that's a violent crime, technically. Not technically, that's a violent crime. So I wonder why he wouldn't. Oh, because we're paying. I wouldn't pay. I don't know if I would pay for somebody else to be held in a prison either. Like, why are you using my tax dollars to on some non-U.S. citizen type thing? Like, even I don't know, but I wonder why he wouldn't serve time in a U.S. jail. Because what if he gets deported to Canada and be like, oh nah, he's famous, we're not gonna do nothing. He just can't come back in. Like, what happens in that situation? You just get off like, oh, y'all got me, but y'all wasted our money on a trial, and I'm not gonna serve no time. Like, I was just wondering what happens. Maybe we got to do some research to see.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell you. It'll be interesting though.
Yeah. And in other arrest news, unless you had something else to say on that.
Yeah, hold on.
This podcast was brought to you by.
Go ahead and start doing commercial breaks. We'll be right back.
This podcast was sponsored by
Hell yeah, bro.
Southwest Airlines. You don't want to go on a trip? Don't worry. Because we're going to cancel your flight anyways.
All right. Hey, I do have one thing, though. You ready? You good?
Yeah.
I said you good. Like, it wasn't me that was like, hey, hold up.
But all right.
Hey, so I don't know if you heard about this, but Bill Cosby just announced plans to go on another comedy tour in 2023. He said they're looking to get out in spring or summer of 2023. And I was just like, bro, what's going on? He's still facing charges. Like, there's still like 5 more women that came out and said, he got something going on, or like he did something to them. But I mean, I guess like, no, you know what it is? He got to find a way to pay for all them lawyers. That's what it is. So? That's why he going back. Yeah, he got to find a way to pay for them.
If they find him guilty, are they gonna put him back in jail? Like, no, we just let you out for this, but go ahead and take it back, buddy.
Bro, he not gonna get refunds if you buy the ticket to his comedy show and he goes to jail. He's not giving no refunds. That money's gone.
I feel like you shouldn't get a refund though. Like, you made a bad investment. It hits, the stock hit 0 on this one.
Thanks.
Yeah, I wonder who's buying tickets to this. Probably the same people that listen to R. Kelly's album. And then 2, I guess it would be different if like the whole scandal didn't happen. You probably would want to go see Bill Cosby's last comedy tour, whatever. Because I don't know how old he is. He looks old.
I mean, it's 85.
Yeah. So like, you might go see his comedy tour at 85, but would you really go see his comedy? I think though, what it seems like, probably if it wasn't for the scandal, since he's 85, he probably would have been getting ready to run for president, since that seems like the average age that you run for president at. But because he knows he probably won't win because of that scandal, probably like, you know what, I guess I'll just do a comedy tour instead.
That man said, what else can I do? All right, well, I'll do another tour. Worked out so well the first time.
I don't know, man. It's probably smart financially.
You know what? I want to know how this tour is going to be set up, because I feel like comedians, when they go to a city and they tour, or like they do a show, they're not just doing a show. You know what I'm saying? You're going to go out, you're going to host some events, you're going to invite some people. So like, is he gonna be doing all that, or is it just like he gonna do the show and go back to his hotel and be back? Because there's no way that any paparazzi is gonna be like Bill Cosby seen leaving this club after his comedy show in such and such city, and stuff not gonna blow up. Is no, it's no way. His PR team got to have him on lockdown. Got to.
Right, but he's 85 too. Like, how late is he staying out? I would be surprised if these tours don't start at like 5 o'clock.
Hey, that's a great point. That's a great point. Yeah.
Man's 85, and it starts at like 7, 9, 10. He's not making it out there. He's gonna be asleep. Like, it's gonna be sleep. That's crazy though. It just shows you that, man. Because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be sold out. If it's not sold out, I would be very surprised.
Mhm.
But it just kind of shows you that, I don't know. There is no lesson from it. I have no lesson to glean from it.
It's just wild. We'll see. We'll see.
In other arrest news, though, influencer, millionaire, whatever you want to call him, Tate was arrested though on charges of human trafficking. It is it's kind of funny though. Here's why it's funny to me.
Wait, before you do that. So you talking about Andrew Tate?
Yeah, Andrew Tate.
All right, who is that for folks that don't know?
So Andrew Tate, for starters, because this was what I was about to say, it's kind of funny because like I followed Tate back in 2019 and he was just like a regular guy. And matter of fact, I only kind of followed him. So because he said some things that was like, he kind of got a point here. And he said a lot of things that was just like extreme. So it's like, don't want to see you on my timeline all the time. So at this point though, he was just a regular person. Like he was just regular person followed by regular people. Good takes, bad takes. Fast forward to 2022, all of a sudden, I start seeing him on my regular timeline. Like, oh, who's this guy? This guy sucks, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, how the heck is he making it to my regular timeline? And then fast forward to like, what, three months ago, he was like the most Googled person in the world, maybe? Mm-hmm. But all that to say, so like, I don't even know exactly what he is. On some level, he's an influencer. On some level, he's a millionaire. I like what does that make you? Like if you're an influencer and a millionaire, you're just a millionaire influencer.
The way I've seen it described, is that he is a manosphere influencer. Meaning that he talk about men or talks to men, generally talks about masculinity and like relationships from a masculine point of view. And that's what he does.
And even still, though, if you put him in that category, he's still in a lane of his own because, like, I don't even think it's so crazy that you have a manosphere. But anyways, They got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. And I know a lot of people are happy about that because they hated Tate. One thing that I said, like, I don't really – the timing – I will say the timing of it is kind of weird, being that he just got canceled, just got back on Twitter, and then now shortly after you have these charges being brought up against him. A while back, it might have been either earlier this year or the end of last year, there was – I think he might have been arrested because – or at least detained because there was an American girl who said that she was being held against her will.
I saw that story.
Yeah, that came back to be false. But all that to say, like,
no, wait, hold on. I want to tell that story because that jump was hilarious to me.
Go ahead.
So what I heard, and let me know if this is the same story you was thinking about. So Tate and his brother basically threw a party at their spot. This is all according to the Tate brothers, but they threw a party at their spot. There was a girl there, you know, that apparently had either put it on Instagram or like a friend put it on Instagram. Somehow it ended up that this girl was at the Tate brothers' place partying, got a bunch of drinks, a bunch of men, whatever was going on, X, Y, and Z. Her boyfriend saw the Instagram post and texted her and was like, yo, what's going on? Like, you good? Like, what are you doing there? Like, it makes sense. Like, if I'm on Instagram and I see my girl at some party that I don't know about with a bunch of folks, nah, it's we gonna have to talk for sure. So her boyfriend texted her like, "What's going on?" She texted her boyfriend and said, "I'm at the Tate brothers' house. They won't let me leave." Like basically saying, I didn't mean to be here. I just ended up here and now I can't get out. And so the boyfriend, doing what I feel like a lot of reasonable boyfriends would do, called the police and was like, "Hey, my girlfriend's being held at this spot." So the police pulled up, arrested Tate and his brother, and took him to jail. The way the story goes, the police raided their house, didn't find anything, no drugs or nothing. Um, and then they checked like the cameras around the place and saw the girl, at the property going out to like collect pizza from the front gate, showing that she was, that she was there willingly because if you was at the front gate, you could have left. So that's the story, and apparently Tate and his brother were let out, a little while later. All of that was cleared up, but I don't know how much truth there is to that. But that's a wild story if that's what happened for real.
And all that to say though, if they were put on the radar for this, I feel like shortly thereafter, if there was trafficking humans, that like I feel like it would be on their radar at that point, which I mean could be why they just got busted a couple days ago.
Mm.
But I feel like that story is at least a year old.
Right. Oh, so you saying like if like regardless of what happened in that story, the feds would have been watching them.
I would think so.
I feel like that makes sense. You got to be a person of interest at least at that point.
Like maybe it took a year for you to get the evidence that you needed, so maybe that's why. But I even a year sounds a little short. I'm thinking more so like closer to 2 years. It seems like a year and a half. But that's what I'm thinking. Not to say that he didn't do it, because I mean he openly has like he's basically like openly a pimp. So like I feel like you can't openly do like a lot of illegal things and not get like I feel like you have to get caught at some point.
So you said he's a pimp because he has like he has a cam business where he has girls that do cam whatever. They I think they also like it's a physical escort service too. Like you can go out and get one of the girls. I don't know for sure.
I don't know.
I don't know
about that.
But
like, he has a course
teaching
you. He has a course teaching you how to build your own cam business. Like
that's crazy.
I feel like a lot of stuff has to compound. I mean, I feel like if there's like a lot of red flags, a lot of like, hey, this guy's doing something illegal. I feel like it was all there to begin with before a couple of weeks ago, for them to have arrested him. Not saying that he didn't. I'm skeptical right now, but if he did, cool, arrest him. But I think a lot of people want it to be true because they hate Tate.
Yeah. I got a question though. Wait. You said he teaches you how to start a cam business. Do you know what's in that course? Like what is teaching you how to start a cam business mean? Like, are you teaching you? No. Is it like, all right, go get this, go to this website, sign up here, find some women that want to do it? Or is he like, find these type of women, talk to them, pay them this much? Like what's being taught in this course?
I don't know the specifics of it, bro. And to be honest, it's a slim chance I could be wrong that he doesn't teach you how to start one. I'm like 95% sure he does. But I don't know, bro. As far as the contents of it, not sure. I feel like, bro, that you can't buy a course on how to be a pimp, though. I feel like you either got it in you or you don't. So I really want to know how much it was selling or like who bought this course, if it exists. But I think it was, bro. But as far as the contents, not sure what was in it.
I want to know how that course is doing with the context of OnlyFans coming out in the last 2 years. Because, I mean, what would be the purpose of signing up for somebody else's cam service or cam business if you can just go on OnlyFans, sign up, and then start doing that junk yourself?
I feel like, though, I think that it existed as OnlyFans existed. I don't think that it rivaled his business. I think that it helped his business. I don't know. I don't know how exactly worked. The other thing is though, I hear that, and I don't know how true it is, but I hear that a lot of people don't actually make money with that with OnlyFans. I hear that it's actually really hard to make
I've
a
heard that
decent
too.
amount of money with it.
I've heard
So
OnlyFans is very. I feel like it's like anything else. Like you, at the end of the day, you still an influencer. You just sell sex. That's all it is. So you're not anybody's just gonna come up and be an influencer. That's not how that works. So at the end of the day, like if you do OnlyFans, it's work that got to go into. You got to build your clientele. You got to put yourself out there. You got to do your own marketing, PR, all of that. You got to find people that want what you got, and it's a business. So it
and,
ain't. Like I've heard
yeah,
that too. Like it's like a lot of it is like the top, 5%. Like those are people that make money, but the top 5, top 10%. But like to get there, it's a lot of work. So
yeah, because you are also competing with a lot of free sites.
mm, very true.
So like you have to build your social media following, which I don't know how hard it is. I feel like it'd be kind of easy, but like converting that to actual cash, like, oh yeah, $5. Like $5 a month ain't a lot, but like the person that's willing to spend $5 a month would also spend $5 a month somewhere else. So
I
it's
don't
not like
know. So this is what I think is weird. This way, because I know some folks that's done OnlyFans, whatever. What I think is weird is that if you're doing OnlyFans, you got to be okay with people that you know seeing you in that way. Because from what I've heard, it'll be like, oh, it's a lot of people that I went to high school with, or a lot of people that I went to college with. And that's kind of, I feel like that's you just got to get over it. Like that's weird. That's a little weird. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen this person or talked to this person because you'll have people that you follow on Instagram that you went to school with or whatever. They might like your post every once in a while, maybe give you a comment. Y'all might chat it up. Oh, how's it going? Da-da-da. But for this person to now subscribe to you, and especially as a woman, because as a woman, like they was probably hitting on you and you probably curved them.
probably.
So now you curved them, but 10 years later, they subscribe to your OnlyFans in the comfort of their own home, looking at your pictures or videos or whatever it is that gets posted, and you just got to be okay with that. And I don't know, that's interesting.
I feel like it's only gonna be weird if they're one of 5 followers. If they're one of 100, I don't think that's that weird. But like at the point where you only have like 5 people and it's 5 people that you know, then I feel like that becomes
But
very
I,
weird.
I feel like it's still weird because you're more than likely gonna start off with those people. And then who are those people gonna be after that? It's probably gonna be friends of those people. Like that's it the circle. That's how I don't know. I don't have an OnlyFans, so I don't know how it works. Maybe we should get somebody on the podcast to come tell us what OnlyFans is like and how it works. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a bad
But
idea.
that I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, like most people who start a business, right? Their friends and family gonna be the first person like buy something from them. Like in this case, though, your friends and family they not gonna subscribe. I don't think anyway. So you got to move one step over. Like it's not quite your friends and family, but it's people that you went to school with. And I don't know. I see what you're saying though, bro. Like that does have to be weird, but I feel like again, it makes the most sense to build a following. Like you can be a fake influence, like gym influencer for a while, and then you just slide that link up there. Like so, like now you have like in the K's like 10,000 followers. Now you slide that link up there. I feel like you got a better chance then. But like you just off the
Oh yeah.
bat, I just built my Twitter yesterday. Throw the link in the bio. You're definitely just gonna have that one guy from high school subscribe to your OnlyFans.
Hey,
But hey,
it's a lot it's a lot of people out here. I've heard uh I've heard stories from women saying like, oh, this person from high school randomly hit me up asking, do I sell feet pics? That's crazy. Like that's just wild. No conversation, no precursor, nothing was being done before. Just maybe they just got got a new set or something like that, or maybe they was posting a picture of their outfit and just, ooh, your feet look good. Would you ever consider selling them?
That's so crazy, bro.
That's
And that's specifically, bro. Like, okay, like if you ask for like regular pictures, okay, maybe you find that person attractive, but like you can just Google that. Like you can just Google that.
it's got to be something specific about it being somebody that you know or saw or it's somebody you was close with. It's got to be something specific about that. That's the only thing I could think of. Like, and that's why I say it's weird because like you that's what it is because you could go on any number of sites and find the same thing, but the fact that it's somebody that you know that you maybe have access to or you used to have access to has to do something for some people.
So in a weird way, it's a little bit of exclusivity to it, I think.
Mm,
Like this isn't some celebrity. This is like some regular person.
that's
Like, I mean,
true.
I get anybody could, but like everybody doesn't know who this person is, but you know who
Yeah.
this person is.
Yeah.
So like that part of it, there is logic behind that part. I can't say that it makes sense or I understand it. There's logic behind that part of it. But like feet specifically, why do you need that attached to somebody? Like that you know. Like, oh, it's an exclusive foot pick as opposed to like, oh, just a random foot.
Yeah, I can see that. Like it's whatever it is that you seeing or that you enjoy. It's I mean seeing it from somebody that you know versus like some random person, even though they might look a certain way. They might
You
again
know,
like
like who this person is as opposed to like this is a person that exists somewhere. All right, sure.
yeah. I guess I guess.
All right, moving on. What we got? We about to go top five favorite. This particular time, we're going top five favorite TV shows. I'm gonna
All
let you
right,
start it. I'm gonna let you start it. It you
top
can.
five.
It doesn't have to be in order, but you can order it if you want to.
Is this top five of all time or like top five right now?
Top five of all time, and
All
then
time.
like
Okay.
yeah, and then are you doing like legit favorite, or are you going to do like best? Let's go. I
uh,
think that's two separate things. Let's go. Let's go best. Let's go best.
best. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think it honestly, well, I'm biased. So my favorites I would think are the best. So I feel like it is like I because when you said it at first, I was like, yeah, there's are two separate things. But subjectively, my favorites I would think are the best shows. So if
Mm.
we do a top five shows of all time, I got The Office. The Office has to be up there. Gotta be up
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Game of Thrones. Game of
Yeah, for
Thrones is
sure.
definitely up there. Uh I'll put Money Heist. I'll put Money
Really?
Heist up there. Yeah, I'll put
You
Money
know,
Heist up there.
I didn't like the last couple of seasons of Money Heist.
I didn't like the last couple episodes. I feel like they was trying to get out of there. It was trying to end it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little lame. But overall, I'll still
All
put the
right,
show
Money
up there.
Heist. Because the
And
first two seasons, that
then
was heat. That was heat for sure.
you said what?
The first like two seasons for
Oh,
sure were
definitely.
heat. They were going
Definitely. That
crazy.
jump went stupid. I saw the behind the scenes. Like they literally had crowds in Spain like coming out to cheer them on when they were filming, bro. Like that's how like people would leave their jobs to go cheer them on. That's how big that jump was.
It was
So
fun.
yeah, Money Heist is definitely up there. And I watched it in Spanish. I didn't watch it in English because I feel like you got to get the real feel of it.
I feel like that's a very anime thing to do.
Oh, definitely. Sub, not dub. But yeah, Money
Alright.
Heist. And then I feel like this is little well known. I'll put Peaky Blinders up there. Because Peaky
Mm.
Blinders, that is a top show, bro. That John, I love that show. Uh and then I gotta put Breaking Bad up there. But I feel like if I watched Breaking Bad now, it probably wouldn't make my top five.
You don't think so?
No, but I watched it like 3 times in the time that it came out because it was that good when
It
it
was
came out.
fine.
Yeah, but like now that it's had some time, I don't know if it will make top 5 anymore. Maybe it's because it's not really novel anymore, like it's not new. But I still got it up there because if we talk all time, I think it was a great show for sure.
I feel like it's funny that you said like The Office because The Office could not make my best list because of the
Mm.
type of show that it is, like because it's a sitcom.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so like anything on my best list would have had to follow the type of like Breaking Bad. And like as I'm thinking about like best shows, I feel like Breaking Bad was the first show of that type of genre, like legit
Yeah.
good television. Which might have been why everybody thought it was so good because it was like that in Prison Break at the time. Other than
Mm-mm.
that,
Ooh,
other than
Prison
that, we
Break
had
was
like
great.
I never saw it, bro.
Ooh,
I never saw
Prison
it.
Break was great. That was a great show.
Other than those two, like all you had was like sitcoms, and then you had like
Yeah.
NCIS type shows. You had Degrassi, depending on what year we're
NCIS.
talking about.
Yeah.
But there wasn't. I don't think so. Oh, probably what's that show? The Doctor Show. Grey's.
Grey's
Grey's.
Anatomy.
We
Yeah. A
probably
lot
would
of
put
people love
Grey's up
Grey's
there.
Anatomy. I've never watched it though. Have you?
I've seen like a couple of episodes, like 4 episodes maybe.
Mm.
But other than that, I haven't
I,
like
I
legit
I know
watched.
like people. I'll meet people that be like, yeah, I watch Grey's Anatomy once a year,
Yeah,
and
it's
that
people
just
who really
not. It's
love it.
not like a 2 week like. Oh, let me binge. Like that's like a three,
It's like
four, 5 month.
they like
Like
13
you
seasons.
literally watching Grey's Anatomy for half the half the year, then you restart. That's
They got like
crazy.
13 seasons. But yeah, I don't think there was really any like good shows like the ones that you mentioned. I think
Yeah.
that was a. I don't think that came until like the Netflix era.
Fair. Fair. We had Prison Break 24. I don't know if you ever saw that. 24
Mm-mm.
had that dude Jack Bauer in there. It was similar to Prison Break, but I mean 24 was a great show. Oh, they had no they well, I guess some of these were because I was thinking of like House of Cards was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Blacklist was another one, but Blacklist started on TV and then it went to Netflix. So I feel like they did have some, but you're right. I don't think it was that like prevalent. And I will say to your other point, The Office is the only type of show on this list that made it on the list. So
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. That's fair.
I
That's
feel
fair.
like I feel like HBO ushered in a new era of like TV, and I could
Mm.
be wrong because I can't just think of like too many HBO shows that are gonna make my list other than Game of Thrones. But I feel like that's kind of where it began.
All right. So what's on your list?
Oh, one more thing.
Hmm.
So you said that Prison Break might not make it. Not Prison Break. Breaking Bad might not make it if you go back and watch it. What would take its spot?
What would take its spot? Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I'd have
Okay,
to really
okay,
think
okay,
about it. Yeah, I'd have to
okay,
really think about it. I don't know.
okay. Mine are Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, House of Cards is up there. When I thought about it the other day, I definitely put Peaky Blinders up there. I'm trying to think what is up there. Let's see. I feel like I've hold on. Oh, while I do this, while I look something up, have you seen The Sopranos?
Oh yeah, I have seen The Sopranos. It was good. I don't think it's best shows, but it's good. It's one of those shows that you get sucked into because of the characters and because you like following like the progression and like what happens. But
Mm,
I don't think to me at least, I don't think it's like, oh, this is just a great show that everybody has to see. I just don't see it like that.
I got you. If oh, because a lot of people make it seem like you gotta watch Sopranos.
I feel like I said, if you start watching it, you'll get sucked into it because you see the progression of people and like how the storylines develop and you like, oh, this is interesting. Like I want to see what happens. But I don't think when I think of best shows, I think of the writing, I think of the acting, I think of the storylines, like I think of the overall production value of the show to make it like, oh, this is pretty interesting. The writing on The Sopranos, it was good. It wasn't particularly spectacular. The acting was pretty good. Production value was, I mean, it was all right. But I also, it definitely depends on if you and this is why I say like Breaking Bad wouldn't make it, because if you were watching it at the time, like when it was live or even a little bit after that, like when they were coming out with episodes or even a little bit after that, then you would definitely, I feel like you have a different attachment to it than if you just go through and watch it now. Like I feel like the same thing with like a lot of people that say they watch Grey's Anatomy, they started watching it because it was on TV and they were like, oh, this is interesting. And they like, that's why they like it. But I don't think you would get somebody that's just going to go through and watch Grey's. Same thing with like Star Wars. Star Wars, I think, is another good example. If you watch the Star Wars series or Star Trek, you know, before it, like while it was happening, while it was big, or even a little bit after that, you probably really like it. But I mean, for me personally, I'm not gonna sit up here and watch 8 movies of Star Wars and be like, wow, that was the greatest franchise of all. Like, that's just not gonna be me. It's not gonna happen like that. So
I I hear you. Only thing is, I didn't watch Breaking Bad live, and I still think it's up there. And then I know one of my brothers didn't watch it live either, and he put it up there too. But I get that though. Like you do have a different level of attachment to it because like it was it was this specific time period as opposed to you going back and watching it. But I don't know, bro. I think it was cold. I've been thinking about going back and watching it. But I think it was
Breaking
that
Bad.
cold, bro. Yeah. My fifth TV show though. Now that I remember, is Snowfall.
Oh,
That shit was tough.
Snowfall is a
That
great
is
one.
tough.
Yeah,
It's
I
tough.
put a lot of people on the Snowfall. I put a lot of
Really?
people on the Snowfall. Yeah, bro. Because I was watching Snowfall before it got big. I might have put you on the
You might,
Snowfall.
yeah. I think, matter of fact, you might have mentioned Snowfall to me. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it was so far after the fact that I went and watched it. I think I forgot that you mentioned that. I think you
yeah.
mentioned that, and I think you mentioned the shot. SB might have put me onto it though. It's very possible that SB put me on.
Okay.
But you're right. You did mention Snowfall early on.
Yeah, yeah.
It's hard.
Snowfall. Yeah,
It's tough.
Snowfall is lit. Snowfall. Yeah,
Uh,
Snowfall is a great show.
it's funny though that you mentioned at the beginning that you subjectively think that your favorite shows are the best shows. Not for me, bro.
For
That's
real.
not my experience. I watch a lot of terrible shows, but I like them. So like
I'm dead.
my favorite list would be completely different because when I watch TV shows, I don't always like getting invested like when I'm watching Snowfall. I like a lot of like lighthearted stuff, I guess. And like the TV just be terrible. Like in like it's okay to watch, but like it's not up there with like Game of Thrones, Snowfall, and
Give
all
me an
that stuff.
example, bro. Like what? What's the show?
So Power, that's a good show, but it's
Okay.
not no best show. And
Okay.
that's like one of the better of the shows that I've watched.
Okay. That's
And
fair.
so like I'm giving you like the best show that I watched that I don't think is the best show. So it only goes downhill from there.
But I
Um
feel like, so here's what I think I'm very selective with shows, because if I start a show, I'm gonna want to finish it. So I'm gonna be
yeah.
upset if I get through it and it wasn't good. Like I'm just gonna be upset because like I never watched. I feel like people gonna be upset, but I never watched Power. I never watched Empire. I never watched any of those
I
shows
didn't watch
because to
Empire.
me, I didn't think they were good. Like they were popular. They might have been fun to watch, but I don't think they were good. Just didn't think they were good shows. It just is what it is.
Empire didn't watch Power, like you're valid in saying it's like it's a okay, like it's a good show to watch. Like it's not Game of Thrones. It's not any of the shows that we've named in the other ones. It's not even The Office. But it's a good show. Like okay, like a lot of fake stuff happens.
Hmm.
A lot of plot armor going on. But
Hmm.
okay, it's good television. Like all right, cool. It's entertaining. It's fun to watch. So I get that. But like I said though, it only goes downhill from there.
Hmm.
And it was funny because like I was watching the new season of Game of Thrones and or the new spinoff.
Oh, House of Dragons.
Yeah, I was watching House of Dragons, and I think it's pretty trash for one. But my brother also thinks it's pretty trash, but he was like he can't watch it. I was like I watched plenty of bad TV, so I can still watch this. But I just thought, I was like, bro, I watch All American. I can definitely sit here and watch
I'm
House of
dead.
Dragons.
Yeah, I haven't watched House of Dragons because again, I don't think it's gonna be good.
It's
I'm
not.
I'm scared to watch it. And bro, it's a couple people that's told me, oh, this is worthwhile, like it's great, like da-da-da. And I'm like, I don't know. I've learned I can't really trust a lot of people's opinions on good TV.
That's
I
very
can't.
valid, bro.
I can't.
That's very valid. And then, because it just depends. Like, if you tell me something that's, if you tell me that's something that's mainstream, I'm not gonna believe it. Like, I'm like, nah,
Mm.
I ain't going for it. One of the few examples, I mean, like one of the few ones that did bang was The Boys. Like that was
Oh,
one of
from
the few
Amazon
main.
Prime?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the one, and it's probably because it was Amazon Prime. Like if it was Netflix, I probably wouldn't have watched it. Um, but other than that, though, yeah, I agree with you. Can't really trust a lot of people's judgments on good TV. But I think that I'm one of the people that I feel like I'm one of the people that finds TV shows. Like I remember watching You before it got popular. Now I'm not gonna say like it was like months or anything, but I remember watching You and being on like the last episode and hopping on Twitter and seeing people watch You. I was like, oh okay, beat everybody to the punch on that one.
Hey, I
Same
was
thing.
gonna say it is a little validating when you was on a show before and then you start hearing people talk about it, you like,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been on
I
this,
tell
y'all
you,
late.
we started this to Drake me. And then same thing happened with Sex Ed. And then I'm trying to think. I don't think that happened with All American. Oh, there's a show, Easy. Easy is a good
Oh,
show, but it's not the best show.
mm,
So, and again, that's one of the better shows that I like. That's like one of my like Easy. I can't say it's my favorite show of all time, but it's probably top 5
mm,
because I like shows like that.
mm.
But yeah, so it's funny that with you, you think that your favorite are the best, and mine, I know mine are the best, by any stretch of the imagination.
That's fair.
Oh, one more, bro. Abbott, bro. They're doing something special, bro. They're
Abbott
doing something
Elementary,
special.
that's a great show. They have you watched season 2 yet?
Yeah.
I'm only a couple of episodes in, but Abbott Elementary, they got something going on, bro. That joke is hilarious.
I I feel like this must be what it was when like Friends or The Office was coming out because like I'm looking forward to all of the episodes. Like they come back on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to this.
Hey, you know what? Friends, Seinfeld, those were good sitcoms. Those are good sitcoms. I watched all of those actually.
Black people
Friends is
hate
pretty good.
Friends, bro. They hate Friends.
Who hates Friends?
Black people, bro, they hate Friends. They hate that show.
Bruh, Friends is good. Why
I thought it was
you
good
hate-
too. No cap, I thought it was good. I thought it was good. But they hate it, bro. Like they
That's
legit hate that shit.
hilarious.
Every time Netflix was getting to get rid of somebody, it was like, y'all getting rid of this and y'all still got Friends. Bro, they did that all the time, bro. All the time.
That's wild. That's wild. Yeah, Friends and Seinfeld, those are both good shows. If I was gonna say, okay, so while we've been talking, I think if I had to replace Breaking Bad, it would probably be either I don't know if I could put Snowfall out there in the greatest of all time though. I feel like a show like I gotta let a show finish before I see all right greatest of all time or not. But Snowfall would be a contender. Um, Friends and Seinfeld will both be contenders. Yeah, contenders. I ain't saying it was. You know what I'm saying. And House of Cards will also be a contender too.
Okay, if I were to let something like The Office and Friends fly, I would have to put like My Wife and Kids up there too.
Really?
Yeah, My Wife and Kids, that is some good television right there,
I'm dead.
bro.
See now shows like that I can watch because they're not on a streaming service. So it's not like you watching the whole series. It's like if it's on TV, all right, I'll watch it. Cause that to me, that's good TV. It's like, okay, what I'm bored, I'm flipping through the channels. What am I gonna watch? Oh, this is good TV. I can watch this. So like
Yeah.
I feel like I would do that. But I would put I would put my wife and kids. To me, that's in the same category of like
First
That's
Prince
in
of
the
Martin.
same category of like King of Queens. What it was like. What was that? What was that show with JJ and all them? Good Times,
Oh, Good
Sanford and
Times.
Sons. Like you, to me, that's what you looking at right there.
Is Seinfeld in The Office is different than that? I would throw him in the same category,
No,
but
no, it's
oh,
not.
okay, okay,
But
okay, okay.
I'm saying I feel like The Office and Seinfeld they had better overall production value.
Because it's white instead of black.
But chill. We finna edit that out. It's gonna get cut in post. We'll fix it in post.
That
Don't you
is
worry about
hilarious.
it.
Nah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I think my only thing with shows like that is that they don't have like a real storyline. So it's hard for me to put you up at best
Yeah.
without a real storyline. Like good
Yeah.
shows, granted, but that's kind of what goes in the best for me.
Fair enough.
New Year's resolutions, bro. Do you have any? And then how do you
I,
how do you feel about New Year's resolutions in general? Like, are you a avid New Year's resolution or couldn't wait for the first to get back in the
yeah.
gym or whatever it is, or like yeah, do you have any then? What's your general
I was about
feeling?
to say I don't really believe in New Year's resolutions.
You said that like they were the Easter bunny.
I don't really believe in New Year's resolutions because to me it's like I don't like giving stuff a start date like that. Like if I'm trying to build a habit or if I'm trying to do whatever, I'm just gonna find the most convenient time for me to do it. Like that could be tomorrow, that could be next week, that could have been 3 days. Like it doesn't to me, New Year's resolution feels like if you start a New Year's resolution and you gonna keep up with it for a few months and then you just gonna forget about it or you're gonna fall off or whatever. And then about October, November, you'll be like, oh dang, I was supposed to be doing this. All right, bet next year.
Next year.
No. If it's October 22nd and you like, dang, I was supposed to be doing this, then just start on the 23rd. That's how I feel. So I don't really believe in New Year's resolutions. I do have goals for like the calendar year. I've also started recently doing goals, and I kind of treat them separately, but I've also started doing goals for my birth year too. So like from one
Oh,
birthday
yep.
to the next birthday, that's how I treat like, all right, by the time I'm this age, these are the things that I want to be doing, that kind of thing. Like that's most likely how I look at it versus, oh, it's the 1st of January, new year, new me. That ain't never really sat with me.
I like I like oh you have a good spacing between your birthday and the new year.
Yeah.
Uh the other thing is like I agree with you on like the New Year's resolution thing is like why aren't you doing it like tomorrow? Matter of fact, like when you're done doing whatever you're doing now. Um I feel like it's a good starting point now. I think there was a point where I did make New Year's resolutions. But even still, like going into this year, it was more so like what do I want to accomplish over the course of the year, as opposed to like what's this habit that I'm gonna start on the first. Because I
Right.
was already doing what I thought I should have been doing. And so it's like there's nothing that I need to add because
Yeah,
it's
I,
the
I,
first of the
I
year.
agree with it because to me, like, so when I say goal, it's like planning out the year. Like to me,
Yeah.
that's different than a New Year's resolution because New Year's resolution is like a commitment to yourself, basically. What's
Yeah.
stopping you from doing that on the 3rd of, June? Like, there's nothing saying, all right, for that, and people do it all the time. So I don't get why, like New Year's resolution. I mean, like you said, it's a good start. I will say one of the things that I grew up doing. This was pretty cool. My mom would have us write a letter to ourselves at the beginning of the year of like, oh, this is what I want to do. So I
Accomplish.
think the year would be like it wasn't so much a New Year's resolution, but I mean it was literally a letter to yourself. And so then, at the end of the year, towards the end of the year, like we open it up and be like, just see how you did, see what happened, and just read the letter. And I thought that was pretty cool. I like that. I like that.
That's that's fine. Maybe he'll come up in one of our later podcasts, but my guy Tej on Twitter, he recommended doing that, but he does it for his birthday, similar to how you do it.
Okay.
but write what he thinks year 27 or year 28 is going to be like. And then on the eve of the next one, he reads to see all that he accomplished. I think that's good for like a North Star. Like, what am I trying to do over the course of this year? Because like that can change. But if your New Year's resolution is to start working out more, like probably something that you should have did like again today, or like the day before. So like, which is why a lot of people usually fall off. Because like, if it was that important to you, you probably would have already been doing it. Not to bash anybody with a New Year's resolution though, because I think it's a good starting point. Like, I think at some point you got to ask yourself like, why am I not already doing this? But I also like birthday too, and then I like that mine's in the spring, so it always feels like a new birth. And then like I have like the space between New Year's to my birthday where it's like almost like a building momentum thing, almost like the opposite of like the November to the first where you don't want to do anything, because like it's the end of the year, it's a holiday season, all of that. So like now I have this almost same time space from New Year's Eve to my birthday that's like more, I don't know if productive is the right word, but more of a better time to start things. I don't know how to perfectly explain it, but that's kind of how I see it. But I didn't make any this year either. Was kind of already doing everything I wanted to do. There's agree with you, a couple goals that I have. Like I want to travel a certain amount of times, go to a certain amount of places. There's a couple things I'm going to add this year when the time's right. But if the time was right, October 27th, I'd have started it then. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's how I see it. It just is what it is. That like what you said, that's the question that I asked is like, what's stopping you from doing it today? Like, yeah, like I'll have people be like, "Oh yeah, when the new month starts or on Monday, I'm going to start such and such." Okay, great. What's stopping you from doing it now? I mean, like, because I mean, like, really, and this is for real. Like, people got to realize it's all mental. Like, it's
it
all a
is.
mental thing. If you feel like, oh, I need to wait for it, and I understand it, right? Psychologically, you feel like, oh, there's a start to how you view a month, a week, a day, whatever. I get it.
Yep.
But if you're doing something that is so important to you that you want to be doing it over the long term, or if it's going to have long term benefits, it doesn't matter when you start. It just doesn't. If you say like I want to have a good physique, or I want to look a certain way, 10 years from now, bro, it don't matter if you started on the 1st of January or the the 45th of February. That y'all don't matter, but it just you started. You start. That's all that mattered. That's all
No,
that mattered.
I think you bring up a good point too, because like in making a resolution, you kind of separate yourself from the activity that you're doing
Right.
instead of that being the type of person that you are. Like, I'm working out tomorrow because like this is the type of person that I am, as opposed to I'm gonna work out the first of the year because this is the type of person that or this is the habit that I want to like. I don't I don't feel like logically or in words it makes a difference, but I feel like on a certain level it makes a difference. Like, all right, how do I see myself? What do I see myself being? What are the habits that this person does? How does this person live? As opposed to this is who I am. Like the person that I feel like needs to make all these changes next year. And then next year I'm gonna like start doing those things or add to those things.
Yeah. No, so I think the way you said it makes a lot of sense, right? Separating whatever the action is or the habit from who you are. Because if you think about it in the terms of um personality traits, right? Like one of the episodes of Abbott Elementary, they told one of the characters, "Oh, you're kind of corny." Imagine if he was like, "Yeah, I'm kind of corny, but you know what? January 1st, I'm gonna stop being corny." It's October. That like what you know what I'm saying? If you want to stop being corny, you're gonna stop being corny. Like if you rude or you get angry easily, you're not gonna be like, oh, okay, starting next Monday, starting next month, you're gonna be like, dang, this is how I am. I need to change this. So you're gonna start behaving differently almost immediately because that's something that you're now cognizant of, and that's something that you want to address and change. So the same way with building habits, don't think of it as a specific action. It's I'm the type of person that like I'm gonna start being the type of person that, you know, does X, Y, and Z, pays attention to my finances, works out, invests, travels, whatever the case is. You can start that junk whenever.
Yeah, because like you think about it, like the person who says I'm gonna start this the next year is the same person who said I'm gonna start this next year, as opposed to if you work out, oh dang. As opposed to like if you start working out now, like you are the person that works out.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna leave it at that and not try to re-explain it because I don't think I can explain that better. But yeah, no, I'm with you on that. And then with that being said, one thing that I see a lot, that I've been seeing a lot, and I think I see this every year, and I think I'm gonna transition this to the highest too. But I still see a lot of people retweeting a tweet that says "Me in 2023," and it's like Jason Pitts, Mr. Krabs, Julius, and I don't know the other person, like that they're not going to be spending any money. They're going to be tight on their money, all that stuff. Not me, bro. I want to spend so much money in 2023, bro. I want to spend $1 million in 2023. Like, I don't know, but like, I had a boss one time, and he was teaching us like financial literacy, and he was teaching us how to save our way to $1 million. Yeah, you start with $30, and however much money you can save now, you save it, and you save it and save it, and blah 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 blah. And I was telling him, I was like, be honest with you, dog. If I save $1 million, just know I spent $1 million too. I like my goal isn't to save money. My goal is to spend money, and like part of that, do I wish to save? Yeah, cool, but. My eyes is like on how much I can spend. Translating that to like highs of the year. What I'm gonna just get one. One sounds reasonable, right? Let me just do one. I went to Vegas this year. And the reason it's a high because probably 2019, 2020. 2020, I was doing this technique called, what's that thing called, man? Window shopping. There we go. And window shopping is where if there's something that you desire, you kind of put it in proximity to yourself, whether it's you want to stay in a nice hotel, you go and work at a nice hotel. If you want a Lamborghini, you watch videos of yourself.
I was like,
of
you going to the
Lamborghinis.
stores and looking at stuff. Everybody did that. Right.
Yeah, you want a Lamborghini, you watch videos of Lamborghinis, things like that. You're window shopping, trying to program your reticular activation system. But anywho, 2020, I was watching videos of flights, helicopter rides across like the strip of Vegas. And so like I went to Vegas, and as I was there, I was like, oh dang, like do I need to take the helicopter ride to go ahead and close this loop? And I didn't, but I could have. But I just thought it was cool, like in 2020, to be looking at that videos, want to take this trip to Vegas, and then to do it this year was a pretty nice high. What about you, man? What you got?
My high for the year 2022 would probably my high for the year would probably be going to London and Amsterdam.
Ooh, you did go to London and Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, man, that was an unbelievable experience. I went to a music festival out there, and that was like that was insane. Like I wish I could explain to y'all how it felt to be out there, to walk into an arena that was that large, that many people, and to see people. Honestly, the whole Europe experience, because like, you know, people like when I went, actually I stayed in a hostel, so I was meeting people the whole trip. But like staying in a hostel, being out there, meeting people, having conversations. I was just like just chopping it up with random people. Like, hey, yo, let's take a picture together. I don't know nobody that I took pictures with. Well, never said we didn't even exchange information. No got any Instagram, no Twitter, no numbers, nothing. But it was just like the vibes, but it was just straight vibes. Like out there enjoying life, having a good time, just free. Like Man, that jump was beautiful. That's definitely my high of the year.
What's it like staying in a hostel?
It depends. It depends on where you are and what kind of hostel. Cause, um, okay, what's it like staying in a hostel? One, I just gotta put this out there. The quality of living is not gonna be like staying in an Airbnb or staying in a hotel. That's just not what it is. Okay. So a hostel you are most likely gonna have is gonna be 3 or 4 bunk beds in a room, different people. They give you somewhere to store your stuff that you can lock, or they'll provide a lock for you, or you can go buy one, whatever the case is. And that's how it is. All right. Cool. Now that that's said, if that is something like what the reason that appeals to people is the idea of meeting people, and you never know what can happen, where things could go. So like again, being in a foreign country, you're in a hostel, you meet somebody, you're like, oh hey, where you from? What's up? What do you do? Da-da-da, X, Y, and Z. Oh, why are you here? Like, what are y'all up to? And then usually like hostels will be in and around places that like that are generally popular. So like they'll like, you know, you can go down the street, go to a couple bars, go out together, whatever the case is, like all of that. Like when we were in Amsterdam, the hostel that we stayed at actually had a bar at the bottom of it
That's hard.
where you could like you could drink, and this is Amsterdam, so you could smoke. They served food to like 2 a.m. or something like that. Like it was cool. So it was just people there and they was playing music the whole night. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, cool. Like I remember I actually like I wake up early and then the time difference. So like my sleep schedule was up. But I was up real early one day and so I went down to where the bar was and it was nobody there. So I was just chilling, like whatever. I met this girl who's like a music producer. She came from Paris or something like that. I don't know. She came from somewhere else in Europe, and she had spent like her whole night out at some other festival, you know, was lit, and she just was like, yeah, and we was just chopping it up for like
That's fun.
45 minutes. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like those type of connections that you don't really get by, oh, I'm gonna go get this Airbnb by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're doing that, you are like you're planning your whole trip by yourself. But if you're like, hey, I'm just here to have an experience, and you never know. Like you'll meet some people that's like, you know, like I was talking to people that were like, oh yeah, like we're here for this festival, but next year these are the festivals that we're trying to go to. And I was like, oh shoot, maybe I need to hit some of these festivals too. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
fun.
like that's how people make connections sometimes, right? Like you just go out and meet people. And you never know where you meet people from too. What was interesting was that when I met that woman, I also met a bunch of other people. And there were like 4 or 5 of us that were staying in that particular hostel that were in London the week or the weekend before. So we were all in London at the same time, didn't know it,
Mm,
didn't see each other, didn't talk to each other, came to Amsterdam and ended up at the same hostel
that's fun.
and somehow met each other. So it's like that's what you get out of it, right? It's like you see people, you experience new people, experience new things, you see what happens, where stuff goes. So
I got you. That it definitely sounds like a unique experience. Like you said, if you stay at an Airbnb, that's kind of where you're at, and you might be as extroverted or like more likely to talk to somebody even like when you go out, but still the experience is different. Like the chance of you running into somebody is less likely because you're isolated in a sense. One question though, what makes that experience like? What makes that experience why you chose it? Was there? Is it? Would you choose it again, or is that an experience that you're trying to experience again, like in the future, or like do you? This is a bad question, but like, do you think that's the peak of what you're trying to experience in life, or was that just a unique experience that you enjoyed?
it's part of the experience that I'm trying to have. Like that's how I see it. Is like because again, like if you're staying in an Airbnb, you're coming up with your own itinerary. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go here. You know, even if you try to go out, like you're going out somewhere to like you already know where you're going. Like all of those things. If I'm traveling, it's like it's like if I'm staying in a hostel, I might have some stuff that I've looked up, like, okay, I might want to check this out, I might want to go here. but I might meet people and just be like, yo, what's the move tonight? And like, oh, bro, have you heard? Like, there's such and such and such going down. Like, da-da-da. You know, like I met somebody, like we were both we were both drunk and we met at like 1 a.m. And it's like, yo, why are you here? And he's like, oh, I'm here with my friends. We're going to the festival. I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to the festival too. Like, yeah, when are you going? And it was just like, bet, let's like link up. Like it's part of the experience. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, we ended up not linking up to go to the festival. But it's still the idea that like you have an additional option, right? Like you never know where those things could go because like y'all could all go out together, there isn't any expectation because one, if you're the type of person that will put yourself in that position, you're also probably okay with not like it's not a commitment. It's not like, oh, I went here with my 6 friends, so if we're going out, we got to go out together. Nah, it's hey, you seem cool, I seem cool. Let's see what happens. If it don't work out, it don't work out. If you want to do something else, ball out. I didn't come here with you, so you know what I'm saying? Like, so there's none of that. Like, it's just a completely different vibe. So I would say to answer your question, it's part of the experience if I'm trying to have that type of experience. And again, it depends on where I'm at, where I go.
Okay. You know, as you was explaining that, it reminded me of college. It was like, you used to, especially like freshman year, you used to bump into people. Oh shoot, yeah, I stay in this dorm too. Like, oh yeah, what you doing? And you know what it reminded me of? Bro, that's how we met though. Like, we ran into each other. Oh, what y'all doing tonight? Oh, we doing this. Oh, all right, bet. And shoot, that's crazy, bro. That's fun.
That's a great way to put it. It's definitely, I think as an adult, it's probably the closest thing you'll get to that college experience.
I can see that. That sounds like the most unnormal thing you can do. Like, normally you're supposed to get a house, go to job, you know, raise a family. But this, like, you're not really supposed to bump into people. You're supposed to make friends with people that you work with. You're supposed to, like, in-laws and things like that. But like this, you're out, you're meeting more people.
And the type of people that you meet is different too. Cause like sometimes you'll meet people that's like, oh yeah, I'm living here for 3 months. Or sometimes you'll meet somebody that's there today and gone tomorrow. So it's like you literally have it's all over the spectrum of who you could meet. And it literally just depends on the time, the place, all of that. Like, so yeah, it's pretty fun though.
That's hard. If you're listening to this, this is like your sign it. Next trip you take, go out, stay in the hostel as opposed to that Airbnb. You don't want to pay those cleaning prices anyways, right? Try a hostel.
Facts.
This episode
cleaning prices on Airbnb, they be taxing, bro. They started taxing like crazy.
This episode of the Commons Podcast is brought to you by Hostels USA. Going on a trip.
I'm pretty sure there's a brand like that too, actually. Hostels USA. We need to get this John sponsored now. There's some affiliate marketing going on. All right, y'all. That's been episode 3 of the Commons Podcast. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow the podcast. We've got it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're now on Apple Podcasts. That just happened. So share it with your friends. Leave a comment. Let us know what you like and how we can improve. And we'll see y'all on the next one.